Welcome to U.S. immigration. New flexibilities announced for green cards and visa cases filed to U.S.C.I.S. The temporary flexibilities are effective for 60 days from June 10, 2021 until August 9, 2021. During this period, U.S.C.I.S. will waive the $30 dishonored check fee, protects child applicants from ineligibility due to beneficiary age-out cases. Accept the immigrant cases, even if the date is retrogressed. All these are possible as long as USCIS lockbox is in agreement with incorrect case rejection. The U.S. Vice President, Kamala Harris, has a message to people thinking of crossing the border illegally and making the dangerous journey north. Her blunt message to them was, "Do not come."
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
Is it a sign of support from government for improvising legal immigration and clearing backlog? We need to wait and see. 21st Century Immigration Plan from Cato Institute includes issuing a green card after 5 years for eligible immigrants, regardless of the numerical cap. It also has a plan in place for introducing a state-sponsored visa. If you are interested in this topic, please stick around till the end of this video. For your immigration news and updates, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. Let's get into the video. USCIS announces lockbox filing flexibilities. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will offer filing flexibilities to provide relief to certain applicants and petitioners impacted by delays at a USCIS lockbox. The following temporary flexibilities are effective for 60 days from June 10, 2021 until August 9, 2021. Flexibility number 1. If you submitted a benefit request to a USCIS lockbox between October 1, 2020 and April 1, 2021, and that request was rejected during that timeframe solely due to a filing fee payment that expired while the benefit request was awaiting processing, you may resubmit the request with a new fee payment. If USCIS concurs that it has rejected the benefit request because of the delay, USCIS will consider the resubmitted request as it has been received on the initial filing date it was originally submitted the first time and waive the $30 dishonored check fee. Flexibility number 2. If USCIS has rejected an application earlier but later allowed the applicants and petitioners to resubmit documentation, but if the application has aged out in the interim time, that is during the time that elapsed between when a benefit request was originally submitted to a USCIS lockbox and when USCIS rejected it, an applicant, co-applicant, beneficiary or derivative has reached an age that makes them no longer eligible to file for the benefit requested, USCIS will still accept the resubmissions. These scenarios usually arise when kids were under 21 years of age during original submission but reached over 21 years while resubmission after rejection, making them ineligible for that specific benefits in application, and if USCIS agrees that the delayed rejection caused the person to be ineligible due to age, USCIS will accept the request and consider the resubmitted request as it has been received on the initial filing date it was originally submitted the first time. This flexibility does not apply to Form N-600K, application for citizenship and issuance of certificate under Section 322. Flexibility number 3. Applicants and petitioners can contact USCIS to verify and make sure previously filed benefit requests have not been rejected in error. If USCIS concurs, they may allow applicants and petitioners to resubmit an erroneously rejected benefit request and consider the resubmitted request as it has been received on the initial filing date it was originally submitted the first time at a USCIS lockbox. All these flexibilities only apply to benefit requests submitted to a USCIS lockbox and not to USCIS service centers or field offices. On top of this, you can also submit an expedite request to USCIS when it's clear USCIS error. Sometimes USCIS can make a mistake on your immigration application while processing it. If a USCIS mistake causes you to lose time and status, and you can prove it, USCIS will be more likely to approve your case expedite request. Critical mistakes could include things like using incorrect dates that cut short the validity period for your status. For example, if USCIS sends you a green card with an expiration date that ends in 8 years instead of the standard 10, the shortened time is an error you can raise. As long as you can submit proof that USCIS made the error and not the petitioner or applicant, USCIS will likely approve your expedited processing request. Let's get into the next topic. Vice Presidents do not come message. The U.S. Vice President, Kamala Harris, said she had held robust talks with the Guatemalan President, Alejandro Giammattei, as she sought to find ways of deterring undocumented immigration from Central America to the United States. Speaking during a news conference with Giammattei, Kamala Harris has a message to people thinking of crossing the border illegally and making the dangerous journey north. Her blunt message to them was, "Do not come."
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki responded to a reporter's question about criticism of Vice President Kamala Harris's message to potential migrants when she said, "Do not come." Is it a sign of support from government for improvising legal immigration and clearing backlog? We need to wait and see. Let's hear what Jen Psaki said.
The border right now, we heard from the Vice President yesterday where her message was very simple and blunt. She said to those migrants who would be considering coming, she said, "Do not come." Obviously, there's some progressive Democrats, among other critics, who've been frustrated by that. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, perhaps most prominently, saying it was disappointing to see. She said, among other things, that seeking asylum at any U.S. border is a 100% legal method of arrival. What does the White House say to those progressive Democrats, among others, who are frustrated by the message the White House is delivering?
Well, first, of course it is. And one of our focuses and the priorities of the President and the Vice President is to improve asylum processing at the border, to work with a range of Democrats and hopefully Republicans, because in history it's been a bipartisan effort to get immigration reform passed, to ensure there's a more viable pathway to citizenship and a better processing at the border. What the Vice President was simply conveying is that there's more work to be done, that we don't have these systems in place yet. It's still a dangerous journey, as we've said many times from here and from many forums before, and we need more time to get the work done to ensure that asylum processing is where it should be.
Let's get into the next topic in line with 21st century immigration and what should change as per experts. Congress has repeatedly considered and rejected comprehensive immigration reform legislation over the past few decades. The most bitter debates were in 2006, 2007, and 2013, when comprehensive bills passed one house of Congress and not the other. Those reforms failed since it was either opposed by Democrats or Republicans. Those failed immigration reforms all included three policies: legalize illegal immigrants currently living in the United States, increase border and interior enforcement of the immigration laws, and liberalize legal permanent immigration. Providing legal paths for more immigrants, either for temporary work or permanent citizenship, is the best way to secure the border and would help provide for the future prosperity of the United States. The government cannot regulate a black market of illegal immigrants, but it can regulate legal immigrants. Even though Biden administration has promised a comprehensive immigration bill, the bill was not introduced yet. The only two immigration bill introduced in the House and passed by Biden administration favors illegal immigrants. Is it fair from legal immigration perspective?
On this vote, the yeas are 228, the nays are 197. The bill is passed.
There you have it. The House has passed two immigration reform bills, making it easier for dreamers and migrant farm workers to become citizens. But is this fair to the immigrants who came here legally?
Definitely no. Legal immigrants pay all the fee and wait for decades, so the government's focus should be on legal immigration too. The important step in enacting provisions for legal immigration can be done by reducing long wait times for family-sponsored and employment-based immigrants. But several factors complicate foreign nationals using the legal immigration system. First, the categories to immigrate legally, or even to work for a time on a temporary visa, are limited. Second, and the focus of this analysis, the legal immigration categories that exist often force those who apply to wait many years to immigrate. The primary cause of these long waits is that the demand for visas far outstrips the supply, which the law constrains with specific numerical limits for each visa category. As per the Cato Institute white paper, these two may be considered by Congress. Number 1. Introducing a maximum wait time and issuing green cards. Congress should reduce the long waits for legal immigrants stuck in green card or visa queue. The most direct way would be to eliminate or increase the number of visas for legal immigration categories. However, since there is little political appetite to increase or eliminate numerical caps, Congress should functionally approximate this goal by placing a maximum wait of 5 years for a green card for eligible immigrants, regardless of the numerical cap. Meaning anyone waiting for 5 years in green card queue should receive green cards automatically. Number 2. State-sponsored visas. The federal government has maintained a near monopoly on the criteria for the admission of foreigners to the United States since the late 19th century. This centralization makes little sense in such an economically diverse country. Every state and locality have specific social and economic circumstances that the current centralized immigration system ignores. This centralization has ultimately polarized and paralyzed the national immigration debate and directly led to a 3 decades-long delay of major reforms to a system that most agree desperately needs it. For this reason, Congress should allow state governments to sponsor migrants based on their own criteria under federal supervision. Hope the information presented in the video is useful. U.S. Immigration Channel will be releasing a video when additional information is available on any of these program or regulations. If you have not subscribed, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. See you soon in our next video.